stacking Sufer. I think I'm your best friend. Balances in your bank and stack.
You've got 4 precious metals: silver, platinum, and palladium. And they also post rhodium, but forget, you're not going to buy it physically. Yeah, if you want to diversify your precious metal investment, there's other metals to look at. I own all of them. I own silver, platinum, and palladium. Platinum was the super metal. It was the first metal to go above 2,000 when gold was much lower, and then fell back down. And then platinum was replaced by palladium as the super metal and got up near, I think, 3,000, maybe even got up above it there for a little bit. And I own some of it too. And now they're both down around 1,000. But keep in mind, those are industrial metals. So if the economy outlook isn't as strong, maybe the demand for it, I don't know. I don't know short term. I'm too chicken to call it. There's a website, I don't mind touting, Kitco is probably the most informative website. I recommend it to everybody. Yeah, you can buy product from them, but don't, because I can save you money. Kitco is very informative. I mean, it's a free app on your phone. It's the first thing I look at when I get up and have my cup of coffee and say my prayer, and I look at the price of gold and silver. And there's a great area on there called news. All the experts that write newsletters on the subject are all up there telling you what they think and what they're reporting on. And the one normally I don't tout anybody, but the Aiden Sister Report, they've been reporting on metal since the 70s. They came out and they called several tops and bottoms, and they came out with a very bullish report on gold. Dennis Gartman, who's one of the most recognized commodity traders, recently came out on Kitco and said gold hit a quadruple top. Wasn't sure I quite understood that till I, dove into a little bit. Double tops typically mean it could be heading down. Triple and quadruple tops are very rare and usually indicates much higher levels to come. I don't know.
When we're looking at a massive cup and handle, so with the cup and handle, you have a point where it hits high, and it starts going down, it corrects, and then it starts jumping back up, and then you have another correction, and then it consolidates. Now, it looks like it's at the end of that, and the probability is higher that it goes up than it goes down, same with like a quadruple top.
Silver, the argument for silver is very strong, okay? Silver's been to $50 a couple times, and it's trading in the 20s. Bouncing around, locked in there. It's kind of like boring. It's dragging way behind the price of gold. And does it have a good chance to outperform gold in the future? Maybe, based on the fundamentals of ratio between gold and silver. I think what a lot of people have come to find out is you better have a place that you're comfortable with storing it, because it weighs a lot. And so if you get really excited about silver and start trying to load up on it, next thing you know is, wow, where am I going to keep this stuff? So, keep all that in mind. We can help advise you with that and places to store it, and maybe how to get the right safes and vaults in your home, and even insurance. That's something else you got to start thinking about. Platinum and palladium are other ways you can diversify, but gold is still going to lead the way.
Mike, can you help people on ratios of ownership, either through the amount of ounces or dollar value that they have?
Kitco.com.
Okay, perfect.
Listen to the so-called experts, the guys that charge you for their newsletter service. There's a lot of free commentary on there every day, although Kitco's site's been down the last few days. I heard it got hacked. But they're a very good source and very reliable. A few other sites that put prices up of spot metals, I hear, are maybe not always accurate, but it's always been a pretty good site, one of the most widely used sites in the world. So that's where you're going to get more of your information, and then you got to decide. But just start accumulating. That's the bottom line.
You see a lot of people purchasing at a premium the current year sovereign coins from wherever they're whatever country they're coming from, and they're trying to get that PF70
or MS,
or I guess it could be an MS too. And they're spending a bunch of extra money on that when they could be buying a pre-33, or they could be saving some money and just buying a raw coin.
Here's the problem. Okay, I mean, and it's sad but true. We're not going to name any names, but there's been a number of coin dealers that used to deal in rare coins that are now modern coin dealers because there's more money in it. And so it's sad but true. But first off, just so people understand, if a brand new edition comes out, let's say the U.S. Mint puts out a new coin, and they did, at the World Fair Money in August, people are standing in line to get the new Morgan dollar that they just reproduced, which is just an ounce of silver. And guess what they're trying to do? Trying to get in there, get however many, I think there was a minimum you could buy, and then they're going to walk right over to PCGS and try to get them graded, hoping that it's going to come out as a 70, whether it's a mint state or a proof coin. And the chances are, understand, I mean, the coin's got to be, there can't be a piece of lint, there can't be nothing, it's got to be perfect. And when they're coming off that conveyor belt, things can happen, especially as the die is punching out coins, and then eventually they come out as 69s and 68s. And again, chances of those ever being rare in our lifetime or our kids' lifetime, maybe even our grandkids' lifetime, I just don't know. But be careful because, the premiums can be hefty, and we've seen some crazy things happen where a modern coin brought a stupid number because it was a limited edition, and it was, and that's the presentation that the sales companies have. Hey, they only made so many of these, but it's brand new. So what about next year and the year after, and all the other modern coins and all the other mints around the world doing the same thing? Oh, let's have a limited edition Chinese panda and kangaroos and blah, 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 blah. So you're speculating very highly, and usually that doesn't work out in the consumer's best interest. Just stay with bullion. If you want to buy something high grade, let's talk about your budget and make sure you're buying something that could be scarce and have growth potential over the long run. I mean, a Morgan dollar is the most popular silver coin in the world, most widely collected silver coin on the planet, the biggest silver coin, and there's 104 dates that make up the series, so everybody's intrigued by Morgan dollars. Well, there's different levels of Morgan dollars, and we can talk about an ad we have in Coin World right now, where I think we were doing them at like $19 a piece. Our phone was ringing off the hook. I don't know if we're still doing that or not. You can call me and I could tell you if that still works or not. But those are circulated coins, and not a bad starting place for a kid or a grandkid or a commodity play. And then you get into, a lot of people don't know, with Morgan dollars, there are, the way they were made as a business strike, meaning coins put into circulation as spendable money. There are deep mirror proof-like, there's proof-like, and then there's mint state. So if you look in the grading system, there's 3 layers of Morgan dollars based on when they came off the conveyor belt. So the very first few that came off had the deep mirror proof-like finish, and you can just see a difference in eye appeal, and the population is much lower, or the population reports are much lower on those. And then as the dies wore down, they became proof-like, and then regular mint state issues. So an 1881S Morgan dollar, one of the most common years, in a mint state 68 grade is not a great investment. It's called a population rarity or a grade rarity. When you look at how many millions they made to begin with, and how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands have been graded, and you look at all grades combined. So let's say it's MS, I'm just making up a number, but let's say MS68, they say there's only 3 of them. Well, how many did they grade in 67? A couple hundred or a couple of thousand? And then, so as you go down the population, well, then what does that say to me? That says, what if they grade a couple more? What happens to the value of that 68?
Which can happen, people find them.
Because they keep finding them. They keep grading them. I have a population report, which I heard is a collectible from PCGS, one of the first population reports that came out. I think it's the second year of the population report. And I always, just for fun, look back at some of the rare coins and see how scarce they were then and see where they are today. How many have they graded since then? And you can see a pretty good storyline behind.
So with that doesn't mean that people should not be looking at coins that are graded, being concerned the population is going to grow over time. But there's certain populations that are more desirable than others because they're less likely to find they're less likely to have the population grow.
Correct. I mean, again, we don't know what's hidden out there in bank vaults or in safety deposit boxes, etc. But when I offer a coin, like right now, I'm very happy that I'm able to offer something extraordinary from 1845, which were proof gold coins. And this is 178 years ago now. So now we're talking made a long time ago. And proof gold, like anything, the older they are, the fewer they made. And proof coins were never supposed to be touched by human hands. But in the old days, we didn't have acrylic cases and things and ways of protecting the coins. So they were handled and damaged and impaired almost immediately in some cases. So it's unusual that you see high-graded proof gold coins from 100 plus years ago. That's what makes those impressive. And proof gold is absolutely the caviar of the gold market.
Yeah.
They're exquisite and beautiful and sexy to look at. They're glamorous coins. And what I've always liked about the proof gold market is right out of the gate how rare they were based on how many they made. So in this case, this 1845 set, there's only 3 sets that are known. And one has never been seen throughout history. The other one's sitting in the Smithsonian Institute, and my client has the 3rd set. And
that's awesome.
They happen to be the finest known. And they're all PCGS graded, so it's all uniform. Oh, and it comes with the original leather box that the coins came in.
So for you guys that are wondering about this, I'm going to put a link right here to that video where we talked about that with Mike at the Long Beach Coin Show, so you guys can see that. Well, Mike, we're going to wind this down a little bit now since we're about to jump onto a live stream here in just a minute. So what I wanted to do is thank you for the time today. But before we go, I wanted to see if you could maybe tell us just briefly what we're seeing behind you.
Okay, real quick before we jump to that, also have a relationship with the broker on whatever you're going to do, because you should also be thinking about right out of the gate, what does the exit strategy look like? In other words, whether you're going to be selling now or 10 years down the road, you're giving them the kids or whatever, there should be an exit strategy. What does that look like? Well, with gold bullion today, okay, a lot of people don't realize if I accumulate a whole bunch of gold, did I buy the right form of gold, depending on how private I want my transactions to be. And today, the government has weaseled their way into our industry to the extent that if you sell 25 ounces of anything but American product, it's a reportable transaction. I have to get your driver's license and fill out a form that goes on file with Uncle Sam. Most people don't want that. So before you get too excited about a lower price on Maple Leafs or Krugerrands or bars or whatever compared to an American Eagle, these are things you should think about. Are you willing to weigh that out and make a decision based on that? And then the other part of it is, educating your family. God forbid something happens to you as the investor, what are they going to do? Who do they turn to? There should always be a business card and a note wherever you keep your holdings so that the family knows who to call. And that's why I still have clients that I'm working with today from 35 years ago, because I've made it a point to become a friend of the family and, somebody there to answer questions and help them in the event that they need to raise some money. And everybody dies, goes through a divorce, or gets at the age where I got to sell some stuff. And this behind me is just simply a Abraham Lincoln collection for anybody that's an Abe Lincoln fan. I'm a big MMA fan. I'm in martial arts, and one of the martial artists is extremely excited. He's got everything Abraham Lincoln. I was thinking about reaching out to him and trying to trade him for this for some of his memorabilia. But anyway, this is just a collection. You've got Lincoln currency that's been graded and certified, some raw pieces. Of course, you've got some photos. You've got some coins graded and certified. The Lincoln penny. There's Lincoln commemorative pieces. That's not a real firearm. It is a replica. Wish it was real. But and then you got postage stamps. These are just different things that were there to commemorate one of the greater presidents of all time. And that happens to be in a form of, in my opinion anyway, and this is all in museum glass, and it was just a unique collection that I was able to buy years and years ago, and I've had several people make me an offer to buy it, and I'm sitting put for right now.
Well, I think it's awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much for the time today, and we look forward to talking to you again in the near future here, and thank you for your advice. So for those of you that are watching right now, I will have Mike's information down below in the link, so please do go take a look at that. And if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe, the bell icon, and the thumbs up. That way you'll be notified of the next great videos that come out. And until next time, peace out. Thanks, guys.